But it's not just present in the art, this darkness. It is in the world, our gameplay, and the stories we tell. So what we mean by that is our world is medieval RPG, but rather than being inspired by high fantasy, we're inspired by the occult, the demonic, and biblical themes.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dash. As Blizzard have touted Diablo 4 to being true to its Diablo 1 roots in terms of dark tone, design, and gameplay, I'm here to ask and answer one simple question. How do you play Diablo 1 before Diablo 4 for a new player interested in experiencing the game, and does it realistically hold up in 2020? First off, to the question I get asked almost daily, if interested, where do you even get a copy of Diablo 1? As upon checking the official Blizzard website, for whatever reasons, they shafted Diablo 1 entirely, and the franchise seemingly starts at Diablo 2. Reasons aside, GOG.com have Diablo 1 and Hellfire as a bundle for sale at an incredibly reasonable price, and I always direct people over there. It also is run on Windows, so no DOSBox or any messing around. It's an easy purchase and install, no fuss, and a link will be in the description down below. Full transparency, I'm not sponsored by GOG in any way. I just want everyone to get their hands on Diablo and make it as pain-free as possible, which thankfully they have done. So, you're interested as a new player or returning veteran of the Diablo franchise and want to run through the old games pre-Diablo 4, which is a sentiment, of course, I fully respect. However, if somebody asked me point blank if I thought they should play Diablo 1 vanilla in 2020, even though it's my favorite Diablo game, I would have a hard time actually saying yes without asking them a few preliminary questions, as the game is a bit dated in a few key areas. You see, as the game was revolutionary for the ARPG genre at the time, its successors, although starting to move away from the core things like gothic tone and horror themes, etc., did have some quality of life upgrades at hand, which are hard for somebody in 2020 to go without. A few things I would say about Diablo 1 is that if you don't possess patience, the walking/trudging everywhere will be maddening, especially if you play Diablo 2 onward. Also, if you aren't comfortable with basically a one-attack system, the constant left-clicking will give you carpal tunnel. Instead of some deep skill trees and a plethora of skills, you're basically going to use one or two skills max at any given time and really just slog through it. Plus, the locked closed view is a bit rough. It's not so much the graphics, as they still seem to work well with the tone, but the forced view. Of course, the story, the somber mood, and slogging your way through the depths of the twisted cathedral, and the second-to-none voice acting of the townsfolk of Tristram, although just a handful, reflect the horrors of hell so deftly. It is so memorable you are sold on your holy pilgrimage to slay the Lord of Terror.
No, you can't make me go back there. I won't let you take me. Too much pain. Too many dead. Can't get the blood out of my eyes. My mouth.
So, what I personally recommend to any player, new or returning, to remedy this problem, and if you want some quality of life features, is one mod. As I don't like multiple unimmersive game-breaking mods that are a pain to install, this is a single mod called Beelzebub, which is totally optional, that not only fixes a plethora of quality life issues that I just mentioned, such as you can finally zoom out of a fixed view. You can now have a skill tree and can hotbar skills to break up the monotony of combat. You have interface improvements, a plethora of new spells to freshen up the combat, and thankfully a warp spell to head to the start of each dungeon. Also, new waypoints for easy access back to dungeons every 2 levels, a walk speed that is toggleable in town that goes from trudge to 100% faster, Instead of a paltry 11 out of 16 quests being available and randomized per playthrough, all quests are available, and the NPCs will now show a quest ready icon above their head, plus the 8 extra quests which were fully voice acted but pulled from the final release, making it feel like a totally new experience. You have new locations that were meant to be in the original, belts that have multiple tiers so you don't have to be running back to town every 5 seconds for potions, 4 difficulty levels available in single player which wasn't introduced until Hellfire, new character types that are introduced later such as the Necromancer, Assassin, Barbarian with their own unique skills, set items, 170 crafting recipes, plus much more. Again, this is totally optional, it's easy to install and linked in the description. It helps keep the game feel like a newer ARPG around the par of Diablo 2, but keeps that core Diablo 1 gameplay intact. That's it for the video. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know if you like the Beelzebub mod or pick up a copy of Diablo 1. If you want to play it vanilla, that's absolutely fine, but I do recommend everybody gets to experience the labyrinth underneath the town of Tristram and making their way to hell in this beautifully made, genre-defining game that has stood the test of time. Thanks for watching, and until next time, Traveler.